One truth. Aristotle 2 mind greater than reality 3 linguistic equation. For truth as relationship mind to reality subject/object beginning of modern philosophy equal. Critique of this equation Nietzsche. Poetic creation Badiou. Truth is something new, what repeats equal knowledge reason versus understanding big. For Heidegger truth versus cognition. A true judgment between subject/object, but if something new equal not a judgment, but a creation first. Problem of appearance, not an analytic question process of creation. Constructive process. What needs to happen? Knowledge only gives repetition. Commitment to chance, not predictable if so, it's not new, and we end up judging the knowledge. Beyond what is. An event, interruption of repetition, belongs to the situation not calculable. Here begins a truth begins with a decision that the event has started to take place. Engagement. This has taken place. Subject takes a chance to decide to organize consequences of the event, engage the infinite possibilities of a truth. Fidelity nothing degrades it. A new logic of politics, science. New logic of consequences of an event. Life as art. That's why theory is a work of art. To organize what is by chance, what is a known truth. Subject of. In new logic of consequences of an infinite truth. Scientific truths decided by Galileo Newton/Einstein. Fine arts of truth gradually, something of a subset of the real world set of all consequences of an event in the new logic of truth. If we suppose that it is truth, it cannot be totalized or named by any name, by the formula of any established knowledge. Genetic/generic subsets. In the situation, not able to be broken down by formulas. The impossible. Goal of creation of creative arts. Identity and name projected into the world. What is presented as something new is not always the case. The new truth, not reducible to established knowledge, without identity and without name. That's why there's always enemies of truth. Enemies. All that exists must have a name. That's why new forms of art, politics. Etc. always has many enemies. Truth is not peaceful, it is a fight to impose an item on the world. That's why it is universal. Material of birds, trees, are real parts of the world, but the generative subset is not something that can be identified or named by the world through existing knowledge. There isn't a third Galileo. Physics. What exists is an infinitely open system, no laws of physical laws that can be named. Physical is as such a generative set. After French Revolution, all sorts of revolutions sprung up, but none were identified or named. Etc. Truths are never presumptive, cannot be a finite, complete subset of the world, but we know it is part of the world. Subject as local point, an idea of what will be in the future. We are always doing that. Simple example. Love encounter BWT 2 ppl. Event beginning encounter by chance. Something happens concerning infinite possibilities between two subjects based on choices and decisions. Science. Politics. Faithfulness. To be faithful is to be faithful to the encounter. Inside the process, there are new ideas of the future of the construction's advance/project into the future. Maybe we have the idea of the final goal, new social, new humanity. End of political process. For a powerful fiction of a complete truth. What is final destination? Final process. When it is complete story. New bits of knowledge. W/O verifying. I can find new knowledge by anticipating the future of new truths. Experimentation by anticipation. Without anticipation, very difficult to be faithful to the truth, to the idea always inside subjectivity, which lies in truth. Starting with this fiction, I can proceed. Galileo make the atoms exist. Whole nature can be represented and made through mathematical equations. Small parts of judgment, when you have complete physics, claims the world can be complete. Two forces opposition forward. Aristotle. General consequence. Pf. New physics. I will always love you. Fiction. Ha ha ha. Hearty laughter from the crowd forces and draws anticipation forward. Eternity as complete achievement. In light of generative possibility, creative succession of creative choices plus anticipation of future anticipations within the finite point by point depends on hypothetical forces. Galileo. I know all the world can be calculable by mathematics. We know today that it is false. From his local point general local succession general infinity. Total philosophical problem. Romantic problem of absolute loss. Positivist problem of total science. We can know everything only by science. Political problem of communism. Fine arts. The finer arts. The finer arts. Can we name and force all the knowledge forward? Strength of anticipation is the moment it becomes ethical. It is always the real point that resists. Asterisk. The limit point LP of truth inside situation. It's not the name of it in the eyes of truth. LP. Not inside process of truth. Not tolerate a name from truth. Very singular. Only one to not have a proper name. World in its most incubated being. Pure prison. No new knowledge can breach. LP. Math pure deduction, no contradiction. But it's impossible to prove math is infallible with itself. Contradiction of non-contradiction of mathematics is a limit point of all forms of math truths. What has no name in mathematics, an enemy to the real in mathematics. More profound, but cannot be said, named inscribed. Ethical of math. Not to force the point, but to accept that math is not complete. Love accept that it is not complete. Art cannot be totally achieved. No final form of political paradise. Difficult for scientists. Romantic love. Political theories but yet a desire raise for completion. Ethics of truth must admit limit point. Lacan. Truth cannot be completely said. Safe. Origin of truth. By chance or not, even French Bolshevik Revolution can only be partially addressed. Promotion of commonplace. Genetic. Democracy. Politics incomplete, cannot generate total change. Realization of true life. Define new struggle. Point by point we know its imposition cannot be infinitely changed because if new ideas coming gesamtkunst work artistic creation. No complete art must remain in its impossibilities, must learn to accept what is seen as impossibility can be possible, must decide what is possible not by the powers, state, government, etc. Too real to be destroyed. Philosophy versus all powers, in what is possibility versus impossibility. A new freedom. Usefulness of a new truth. Plato. Cave of possibilities through desire for the impossible because as prisoners of Plato in dark cave of false opinions, we must go out. The way to the light, not light itself, but the process, the way of the light. Come out of the cave of possibility. Affirm the impossible, cannot truly name true happiness. Q1. Mathematic materialist. How to talk about truths in a purely mathematical perspective. Math is formal, not real. How can you be a mathematical materialist? A1. Question of language. Question before the question. Math is not merely formal. 1. Purely logical nature. Relations. Etc. Yes, formal. 2. Proposition of forms, not forms of nothing at all. Where is the thing? The thing is part of the thing. Cannot reduce. Materialist. Q2. Event. Truth follow, but French Rev. Rise of nazism. Each event leading to the truth. Distinguish between. A2. Must be universal. An event is not reducible to what happens. Q3. Limit point. You said truths are always structurally incomplete. You criticize derrida/structuralists, but can you distinguish how youre diff? A3. Alban discussion of finitude. Internal definition. Two forms of infinity. True multiplicity cannot be the final definition. Generic. General. Finitude does not exist. It's a result, not so nothing, that is given. Q4. Within limits. Can philosophy continue to study truth? What does it mean to study philosophy today? A4. Theory of limits. Is itself inside the generic infinity concrete different form of infinity found in concrete world. Limit point. Not for philosophy but for truths. As what is truth, which makes it more important to continue. Q5. Assessing the real. You said we gotta assess, learn as much as you can to find the blind spots in formalized structures. What form should our assessing take? A5. Subjectivization of truth. How to recognize. How to finally be individual, organized by truth. Internal. What is the difference between what is truth versus what is not? 2. Subjective existences. 1. Individual, the human animal. 2. Subjectivization of truths can't be decided externally, but question of individual experience. Q6. If truth is an event, improvised event that brings through truth cannot be through political projects. Political actions cannot be improvised. A6. The point is not the political project. There is no final true political project. It is a process. Point by point. Truth is always between two events. Truth. Attempt to organize * not the final event. No such thing. Enforcement of multiplicity equal problem. Universality itself as a creation equal problem also. Failure of relativism. History of universality itself. Multiplicity of universalities.